Wow, Beyonce really knows how to wear that bling.
That is a huge diamond, Ryan.
Shiny, too.
And you know what else is shining? That sun. Let's head out to Mac in the Weather Center and get another look at the 5-day forecast. And if you're looking to continue your Gamecock National Championship celebrations, next week you'll have another chance. Thanks, Mac. I'm standing here inside the State House where for the first time in its 7-year history, the Compassionate Care Act, a bill that would legalize medical marijuana, has made its way to the Senate floor. If passed, South Carolina could join the 37 other states that have passed their own version of a medical marijuana bill. The drive-through food fair gives people another opportunity to get their favorite fair food outside of fair season. Thank you! The Pathways Unit helps those affected by mental illness stay out of the back of one of these and get them the help they need. From the stressful classroom to the Interfaith Meditation Center, where you can find a quiet space to pray or meditate. The U.S. Senate unanimously passed legislation that would make daylight savings permanent in 2023, meaning we would no longer have to turn those clocks back twice a year. The city of Columbia rallied around the Gamecocks all season and watched them get crowned national champions. While the scene at the fountain looks a little different than it did Sunday night, the hype of the win has a major impact on the city of Columbia and potential students at the university.
Anytime you can get just a Gamecock win, whether it's football or basketball, in this case the women's basketball national championship, it is just such a great thing for the community because it really just gets people excited about what's going on in Columbia.
Kelly Barbary is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications at Experience Columbia and explains how a winning season affects the city.
When we have those games, people come into town and they can shop in our stores, they eat in our restaurants, they can go to some of our local breweries. It's just a great way to introduce people to that destination, and it also builds that economic impact.
The win is also a selling point for student ambassadors like Michael Kona as they give tours to prospective students and their families.
I really like to emphasize what was going on, especially at the fountain, and that sense of community, and that everyone here is really just super hyped about women's basketball and about the success that we've been having.
And for a high school student like Javen Buford, this win might influence her decision to come to the university.
And knowing that the girls won, it's just like, oh, I'm kind of famous too. I can do something like this too. So kind of like that. It gives me that, not popularity, but kind of spirit, student spirit that, everyone has.
This national championship wasn't just for everybody standing up here today, but it was for you guys.
The women's basketball team has become ambassadors to the University of South Carolina and the state.
That kind of community, that kind of engagement with women's basketball that I'm really trying to help prospective students get to know.
So it really just kind of ties together the synergy between the university and the city.
Celebrations will continue for the Gamecocks. For Carolina News, I'm Alexa Daly. Nearly 10 million people worldwide are living with Parkinson's disorder. Those who suffer may experience physical symptoms including stiffness, tremors, and a loss of balance, in addition to cognitive and mood changes. However, a program that has taken off in partnership with the University of South Carolina and Prisma Health allows those suffering to prevent some of these symptoms by exercising at the YMCA.
The stretching, the balance, practice, strengthening, all of those things are so important for a Parkinson's patient. And I'm convinced that if I were not able to move like we do in these classes every day, I would have a lot more trouble just doing my daily tasks.
Participants who are newly diagnosed complete an online education course and are then able to begin taking free classes. Leah Griffin teaches these classes and has opened it up to those suffering from a variety of neurodisorders, including Alzheimer's, dementia, and aphasia.
My role is to keep these folks with neurodiversity to maintain movement and function for as long as we can possibly keep them moving.
Harrison Johnson is a PT student at USC who volunteers with the program.
It's so much fun. I really enjoyed working with an older population who just wanted to be able to climb in bed and spend the night sleeping next to their loved one.
Exercise is an important part of healthy living for everyone, but for people with Parkinson's and other neurodiseases, it is a vital component in improving symptoms.
Exercise is the only thing that's been shown to slow the disease progression. So medications and treatments that are being used help manage symptoms, but exercise is the way that we're impacting the brain and neurotransmitters within the brain.
But the benefits these classes give their students are more than just physical.
Solidarity, being a part of a community of people, being able to talk to folks about, being able to talk to each other about what they're going through, talking to each other about doctors.
You have lots of friends over the years, and there's a lot of camaraderie, and people feel close to each other, besides just being able to exercise.
The program is supported by a community grant from the Parkinson's Foundation and looks to grow with increased funding.
More classes will be able to be offered at the YMCA, so we're hoping that makes not just an impact with our group, but the greater community.
For Carolina News, I'm Alexa Daly. I'm here at the State House, where the House of Representatives just unanimously passed a bill that would allocate funding into resources to help those in the foster care system as they age out and transition into adulthood.
Kids who weren't in foster care, they were reaching their goals that many youth from foster care were not.
Hope Crudrere grew up in the foster care system and now works as a life coach for Fostering Great Ideas, a nonprofit organization that advocates for children in foster care. Children and young adults in foster care are more at risk to struggle academically, experience unwanted or unplanned pregnancies, and face a higher risk of incarceration. The bill and federal funding would help eliminate these risks.
And many youth find that when they age out of foster care at 18, although legally they are determined to be an adult, they have lots of questions and lots of struggles, just like many 18-year-olds do.
Currently, South Carolina is one of 2 states that does not draw down federal dollars to pay for the extended foster care program. Displaying this map to the House made a powerful impact in getting the House's unanimous vote. The map highlights 2 states in light gray, South Carolina and Oklahoma, the only 2 states who have not implemented extended care.
This is really going to have a big impact on the youth that age out of foster care in South Carolina.
The bill will be read in the Senate this afternoon and could be voted on as early as Tuesday. At the State House for Carolina News, I'm Alexa Daly. Paige, we're definitely feeling those spring temperatures on this gorgeous second day of spring. 72 degrees out here, but unfortunately, not every day is going to be this warm. I'll have the full forecast coming up, and we'll take a look at some storms that might be heading our way. Back to you, Ryan and Paige. That's right, Ryan and Michaela. It is a beautiful day out here on this Earth Day, and we are finally seeing those warmer temperatures that we've been waiting for all week. It's about 85 degrees out here, and we could expect a warmer night ahead as well as a beautiful weekend. I'll have the full forecast coming up later in the show. Back to you, Ryan and Michaela. Ryan, it is definitely fabulous, and we're going to have these temperatures in the 80s well into the weekend and early next week. But with those high temperatures comes that high UV index. I'll have more on that and the full forecast coming up next. Stay with us. Looking towards tomorrow, again, we're seeing temperatures well into the 80s, 84 in Columbia, 83 in Orangeburg, 71 in Myrtle Beach, 76 in Charleston, and 76 in Hilton Head as well. We're not quite reaching the record temperature of 93 degrees, but we will get warmer each day this week. And as we do, we're going to continue to see that UV index rise. Currently, that UV is at a 10, and it will be well into next week until Tuesday when it starts to drop down a little bit. But if you're outside, make sure you're wearing that sunscreen, dress appropriately because you don't want to get burnt. And then as we look at our 5-day forecast, we have a great week ahead, 75 and sunny today. Saturday, more sunshine at 82 degrees. Sunday, partly cloudy at 84. Monday and Tuesday, both 88 degrees, and we will see a chance of thunderstorms on Tuesday. That's my final forecast for you guys. Back to you, Ryan and Michaela. Welcome back to Carolina News. I'm Alexa Daly, and it's time for sports. The South Carolina men's basketball team is sitting at a 5-7 SEC record after Saturday's win over Georgia. As of right now, there are 6 teams with just 5 or 6 SEC conference wins. This leaves the door open for South Carolina to finish the season in 5th place. Head coach Frank Martin is confident that the team can turn their season around and move up in the SEC rankings.
we're in a good spot. We're not in a great spot. We're in a good spot. We're not in a bad spot. Some teams are in a bad spot. Some teams are climbing a very steep hill late in the year.
South Carolina swimming and diving is looking to make a splash as they travel to Knoxville today to begin postseason competition at the SEC Championship. That's all the time we have today. Thanks so much for being with us. See you tomorrow. Have a great evening.